Here, there, the Chief Rabbi of Northern Ireland with his Jewish community. We're certainly expanding knowledge on this programme. We had the leader of the Ulster Unionist Party with us this morning, Mike Nesbitt, my old friend and colleague. We've had the rabbi, and now we have good people from Burren down the road just outside Warren Point. Catherine, you're most welcome. Catherine Keenan, Michael Keenan, you're welcome. John Napton, you're welcome as well. These are the people of the Turkwell choir 18 months ago. They focused their interest in Ludwar and Turkwell and decided they were going to do something. But more about that in a moment. For now, let's hear something of the choir's excellence, and they're going to sing for you now an Irish blessing. Magnificent imagery there. Absolutely lovely, and congratulations. I welcome into studio. Oh, Andrew, thank you. You're with us. That's good. I welcome into studio Catherine Keenan, Michael Keenan, and John Napton of the Turkwell Choir Project. Choir project in Burren,
Indeed.
The great barony of Burren, where men in past days went high unto the hills to spy the Vikings coming up the loch and make sure that they never slid the keels of their longboats up onto Warren Point shingle ever. You did that, did you know that?
I can remember it well.
Catherine, Turkwell, what's it all about? Where did it start and why did it start?
It started, it's probably close to 2 years ago now. Where just randomly John decided, I had taught the choir a new piece, and John decided he would bring a microphone along to record us.
Yeah.
Did not warn me of any of this. I'm sitting at the organ and turned around, and he has a mic position hanging over the balcony behind
This was the trial run, John.
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. The impromptu trial run.
Yeah, and you kind of then thought, this is not too bad. We could do something about this.
Yes, as we say in Ireland, this is not too bad.
Yeah.
It's actually very good.
No, but the initial one wasn't too
The
bad.
initial wasn't too
That's
bad.
the one
yeah.
that was the catalyst to drive you forward to do the real thing.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. And Michael, suddenly you're in the business in the middle of, in your home, the creation of musicality in native Africa.
True. A minute ago you talked about the catalyst. I suppose really the whole thing took off. You are aware that the Dromore Diocese is
Linked with Ludwar.
Linked with Ludwar,
Of course, yes.
And the project then was brought down in scale in that the parishes within the Dromore Diocese were paired with a parish in Ludwar, and our particular parish was Turkwell. And there was a delegation from Burn went out there, and they came back and spoke to us openly in the chapel and told us about their experiences there. And I don't know about Catherine and John, but you know, sometimes projects like this are all sort of hinged on one particular sentence. And the sentence that really struck a chord in my heart was the absence of birds. And the context in which that sentence, or it's not a sentence, a phrase, was made was that they were expecting a famine that particular year.
Tell me.
And
The birds had noticed.
yeah, and it sort of brought back to me the old adage that when the haws are plentiful, look out for the winter.
Yeah.
And you would remember that well on,
Absolutely.
Aaron.
But the
Man
absence-
of your age would remember those
now
kind
I'm
of
70
things.
now, thank God. But the absence of birds, and Paddy Harrington, God bless him.
That's
he
correct.
he what impressed me about Bishop Harrington was that he always took ownership of the famines. When you spoke to him, he spoke about our famine.
Yeah.
It wasn't the famine; it was our famine. He's now back in Ireland, retired and taking it easy.
in
New-
Cork, is
in
he?
Cork. I think
Yeah.
he's in Cork. Yeah,
Right.
great human being, and you're associated with the finest people in the world, really. You know. So there came a moment then that you knew something had to be done.
I think collectively we all thought that something had to be done, and anything that we could do to alleviate the situation, and that was probably the motivating, the common motivating factor in the whole thing.
And were there other things, I'm sure there were, going on within your parish in order to support Turkwell?
Absolutely. The Turkwell Committee are ongoing, and they work throughout
Is
the year.
Morris on that with you?
Morris Fitzpatrick.
Morris
is
Fitzpatrick,
on the
yeah.
committee, yes.
Yeah.
And they are constantly working on projects, and I suppose seeking awareness within the wider parish as well, that everybody is aware that this is constant and it's ongoing.
And the people in the parish have made it their own.
Oh, absolutely.
As Bishop Harrington made the famines his own.
Yes. And it was literally just a spark. I mean, John had recorded this song, and we weren't at that stage thinking about what we could do with this or where to go. And ironically, it was recorded on Christmas Eve, and
Wow.
on Christmas Day, we were sitting having dinner, and I just said, I can't stop thinking about this. I have to do this. I have to do this. Wouldn't it be great if we got a group together and we did the CD and we do it for Turkwell? And it just sort of fired from there, and here we are.
It's out now. What, two months or something?
Probably a month, I would
month
say
out.
now. Yes,
The obvious question: how is it selling?
it's selling really well. I think we have probably about over 50% of the CDs sold
50%
already.
sold.
I think the biggest thing that we wanted to achieve was that at the point of the CD going to sale, every single penny that is made from
Goes
the
straight to
sales
the
goes
front.
straight to
Yeah.
Turkwell. So we did a lot of work before we started recording to raise the funds to produce and to make the CD. And we're very grateful to Aidan O'Rourke. And I suppose it's testament to the community and the charity spirit in not just our parish, but in the diocese and in the locality in the region. And Aidan is just great for that, and
Oh,
he
yeah,
helped
he's a
us. We had a
great
great
man.
night in the Canal Court. We had a quiz there, and it really helped us just to kick off the
We
funding
mentioned
that we
Morris
needed.
there. Get Morris to guide you all like a shepherd out to Turkwell.
Oh, yes.
Because he's been in northwest Nigeria, across
Yes.
the great river Niger,
He
and he's
was-
been superb there.
Yes, he was one of the first
He's
to
a
go
great
out.
man altogether. John, are you of this parish?
I am, yes. Well, I've been in Burren for nearly 30 years, so
30 years?
you have another year to go, and then I'll be of the parish.
Oh, yeah. Then they'll keep pushing the boundary back.
Don't know about that.
They'll tell you you'll become part of the parish when the birds cease singing.
Yeah, all right.
They
yeah,
never
yeah.
do in
No,
Burren,
they never do
I
in
tell
Burren.
you.
No,
Absolutely.
no. I'll stop putting the feed out for him in the morning.
So listen, what is your motivation, John?
Well, it's just similar to Catherine St Michael's. Having sat and listened to the presentation in the chapel, and then considering the people of Turkwell and the size of the parish. I mean, when you think about it, so Ludwar Diocese, if you draw a line between Dublin and Galway and take everything north, that's the size of Ludwar Parish.
yeah,
it's
the
just
diocese,
huge, and
yeah.
that's just a small part of Kenya. So when you put that into context, there's 500,000 people there who. I remember back at school, learning about geography and about Africa and hearing about the Great Rift Valley in Africa where civilization started.
Yes,
And Ludwar Parish is in the middle of that.
in the middle of it.
In the middle of it,
Well,
so.
it reaches out from that early civilization to the modern civilization of Burren. You're doing things. You're caring enough to go and do it. And you've Father Charlie there with you in Burren, who's a wonderful human being. Well, I knew Charlie when he was the chaplain at the hospice in Newry.
Yeah.
Wow. He'll hate me saying this, but he was a walking saint. The people he was with through the worst moments of their lives. It's just indescribably wonderful what Charlie Byrne is. There's no two ways
Indeed.
about it. But then you have another prelate of Burren. You have the fellow who's the vice president of Maynooth. What's his name?
Monsignor Hugh Connolly.
Hugh Connolly, Monsignor Hugh Connolly. You're coming down with all of the church people around you. They're good folk indeed. But the Burren community is very special. You're not Warren Point. You're not Hilltown or Bridge. You're just Burren.
That's it. We sit out there on our own.
You do. So then how did you choose the practicality of choosing the songs you were going to do, Catherine?
It's quite funny. A lot of the feedback that we've had is just people were delighted with the selection of the songs and the variety and the range, and I suppose the different messages that they each give out. It wasn't too difficult for me to pick a lot of the tracks. Certainly the first one that you heard at the start of the interview there, An Irish Blessing, was always one that I wanted on the CD. And for the simple reason that those words are iconic to Irish people. And they send out the perfect message about what our faith is about and what Irish people are about. And the Irish Blessing was our message to Turkwell, and that's what we wanted to share with them.
Please have our blessing.
The rest of the tracks are about unity, they're about our faith, they're about who we are, and basically what we wanted to share with Turkwell. And what
It's
we
very
want.
beautiful the way you're so naturally saying our faith. It's like your next breath. It's that close. It's that natural.
Well, that's it. I mean, that's what we share with Turkwell. That's what's common between us and them, and that's the link.
You need to go to Turkwell.
And that's what we want to strengthen. I had read somewhere there recently about the thirst in Turkwell, and the actual physical thirst in the fact of the drought and the lack of water in the region, but the spiritual thirst too. And that's what we're trying to feed.
Was Paddy Harrington? He was SMA, wasn't he? Bishop Harrington. He was.
I
yeah,
think
he was
was.
surely. Yeah,
Yeah.
he was surely. And you see, the other end of it is up in the north of Nigeria. Tim Carroll, SMA, he's gone home now to Ireland as well. So great things are happening because the first Canberra man to become a priest in northwest Nigeria has now become the bishop of the area when Tim went home. So the African thing is developing all the time. Who has replaced Bishop Harrington, do you know?
It's a very tall,
Is he an African man?
coloured man,
He was
yes.
with you, he was driving
Yes.
cattle in Burren.
That's correct.
I saw
That's
that.
correct,
Yes, he was your guest for a wee while there.
He was over at your in-laws.
He was over at my in-laws, and that was another interesting story because what he was saying was when he saw the cattle in Burren as opposed to the cattle in
Wow.
Turkwell, you know,
Yeah.
because of the water and the grass and how they're fed, I think each cow in Burren produces 10 to 15 times the amount of milk that a cow in Turkwell will produce.
I keep saying it, you guys must go to Turkwell. You can't not go. When are you going?
You tell me.
Happen, you know, for goodness sake. Ring Paddy Harrington this afternoon and say you want to go and to give you the contacts and go. Just do it because it really, you're doing so much and it's huge. What will the CD raise for the project? How much will you get?
Our
from
goal
it?
is £5,000.
£5,000. That's great. And how many runs of the production will that take to get the 5,000? Or just you say you're halfway through it.
We have the, yeah.
So you've 2,500?
Yeah.
Wow, that's good.
Yeah.
Well, you now have 2,500 plus one because I'll get that down at what do they call it? But it seems to me limited in where you're letting it. Where you have you need to be going to the parish centre, which is big and imposing.
Yeah,
you need to be going. It's more. My eyes lit up when you said Veritas in
Yes,
Newry because you can have a coffee when you're in buying the CD
Yes.
as well. It's good there.
I guess it's just because it's only been out the month, and
Yeah.
I suppose for the first 2 weeks at least, we were just focusing on people within the parish
Yeah.
that had already pre-ordered and
Aye.
people that who had specifically wanted,
Great.
and a lot of the CD sales, I'm happy to say, have actually come out of our own parish, but
Yeah.
we want to get it out there and make it available to people
Absolutely.
within the
And
diocese
have
too.
you, on the packaging of it, have you the legend, the story of what you're trying to do on it so that people will grow their knowledge as a consequence as well as their musical enjoyment?
We have some information and background about Turkwell and about Ludwar, the diocese, and what is happening there. And we have a selection of photographs of the choir throughout the rehearsals and production
Yes.
and the day of recording, mixed with some pictures of the people of Turkwell.
Okay. Where did you go to school?
Sacred Heart.
Well, they did a good job on you.
Thank you.
That's all I say. And well done to you. Listen, thank you very much indeed. Tell them, have you a website or something where people can catch on to you?
Not yet.
Yeah. Okay.
We're on Facebook.
that to you.
You're on Facebook.
Which is
If you're doing a
Harmony for
website,
Turkwell.
talk to these people here.
That'll
They
be
will do
John.
it.
That'll be John's next project.
John, talk to Damien. Talk to Damien. He'll do a magnificent website for you, and he'll look after you because he's good. He cares. He's a caring sort of fellow. So there you are. That's it. And we'll talk soon again. Tell the people again where they can get it before we hear the last piece of music.
So we have Veritas in Newry. We
Have a coffee there as well.
Yes.
Veritas on the Mall. Yes.
Indeed. They were very happy to get the CDs. Warm Point Parish Centre, John McGee's Butchers in Warm Point, and Vivo in Byrne, and the Parish Centre in Byrne.
And
as well. So
Veritas
Turkey
aren't
House.
taking a cut.
Oh, indeed not. No.
Oh, that's all right. I had to ask that.
Of course.
Because they're big business, you know, they're not always altruistic.
Yes,
And we
no,
wanted to
they're
get
not.
it pinned down. So go to Veritas, buy it, and all the money goes to Turkwell. The second piece of music we want to hear now is what, please?
Look at the World by John Rutter.
John Rutter, Look at the World.